You're good.
Thank you, Melody. It's a great song. I really enjoyed it. One thing I want to ask, and especially since this is an educational show, is what you're concentrating on to really keep your vocals strong. So, if you're doing something to work them, or really what you're trying to do to ensure that you've got the beautiful voice to continue through.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? This is such a great question. Sorry, first of all, I'm such a crybaby. I'm always crying. I'm sorry. Um, so if I'm sniffling, I'm fine. Um,
So,
so it's funny that you ask that because I like taking road trips and I don't own a car, because whatever, I could get a car, but what's the point? We're in the middle of a pandemic, but I love singing in the car because my voice bounces back at me. And it's uh, running is important, some sort of conditioning is really will just take you miles and miles and to maintain it. But even throughout this pandemic, I have found myself like, I'm a little winded there, I'm like talking loud at night and da da da. And getting into the industry, being young, I could just like go out and I used to joke that I could chew on glass and sing the next day. And then you start being like, I need to stop this. So I learned when I was learning opera, I learned how much water I needed to drink. If ever there was any time I was going to be singing, it is actually very fragile to make sure to maintain all of the head voice, the chest voice, to be able to transition properly and nicely and easy on yourself. It's important not to go and have dinner at a restaurant that's like super loud. And it kind of depends what you're doing, right? But I will tell you, when you're younger, you won't think that it matters. It does. It does
so
after
true.
a while. So lots of water is important. And warm-ups, I mean, there's good warm-ups on YouTube, honestly, and pay close attention to the sounds. Uh, Listen to really, really good singers. There may be people that you like, but they might not be doing things properly. So when someone says Whitney Houston is the best singer like ever, just listen to Whitney Houston and pay close attention to her transitions. If it's a male, Luther Vandross is very like that's grill, Usher's really, really good with respect to transitions and working on each voice, chest, your head voice, falsetto, and making sure to blend everything properly, I think is really good for staying in shape. But even I have to say, during this pandemic, I find myself being like, "Whoo, why is this so hard?" So yeah, and also other things that if growing up, I didn't have any voice lessons, and it was really challenging for me to go from 0 to 100. Try and pay close attention to where these great singers are breathing, because they're not taking loads of breaths. And R&B is different than songs that are sung in legato. There are multiple lines before they take a breath, and so work up that stamina. Figure out how they do that, where are they keeping that. And I can tell you that it has a lot to do with your diaphragm. And Google that, YouTube it, try and see what that is, so that you can start breathing like that, holding the air in the right place. It's like keeping gas in your tank and not using it all, not making it to your destination. But yeah, pay close attention to where they breathe and start challenging yourself to not take a breath in the middle of a phrase. Those are some things I wish that people had told me, when I was younger and I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, I think that's helpful. Ride a bike, definitely.